joining us here, kind enough to call in on short notice, is our buddy who's been covering Houston sports since the mid-'70s from the Houston Chronicle, John McClain. How are you today, John?
I'm doing great. Rich, how are you?
I'm doing fine. Right here on the Capital One guest line in the middle of our news update. I appreciate you providing this information. Where did this come from, John? Why did this happen?
DeAndre Hopkins wants a new contract. He's got 3 years left on his contract. They were not going to redo a deal with 3 years left, even though Bill O'Brien is the general manager and he has control of everything now. The most they've ever done was Andre Johnson and J.J. Watt had 2 years left, and they're just not going to do it. And so it's a good year for receivers. This becomes their number one priority, considering they have Kenny Stills and Will Fuller in the last year of their contract, and then Fuller can't stay healthy. This becomes a big priority in free agency and the draft.
So you're saying they were receiving information from DeAndre Hopkins or his camp that he might not show up this year with 3 years left on his deal, so why not go ahead and deal him now? Is that essentially?
Well, I know they're worried about that, but I know he wants a new contract. When he signed it, he got $49 million guaranteed, most in NFL history for a receiver, and he's going to make $12.5 million this year, $13.5 million next year, and that doesn't put him among the league leaders. He's coming off another first-team All-Pro selection, another Pro Bowl. And Deshaun Watson, of course, he's their second most important offensive player to Deshaun Watson, and that takes a huge chunk out of this offense, and I don't know how they're going to replace it.
That's my gosh, John. That's the question I have for you here is that how does this get sold to the rest of the team and Deshaun Watson? I mean, isn't this one of the most popular players that's in that locker room?
Oh, yeah, but they don't have to sell it. You know, Bill O'Brien's in charge. Just like on that Laramie Tunsil, Kenny Stills deal, the fans went crazy, media went crazy. As you can imagine here right now, fans and media are going crazy. And but, you know, the only person he's got to sell it to is the owner, Cal McNair, and obviously he signed off on it.
So what do you think this means for the offense, John? I mean, I guess then I'll ask this question: would this deal have gotten done if Bill O'Brien wasn't the general manager as
If
well?
they'd have redone the deal with 3 years left, absolutely not. They would not do that and set that kind of precedent for any player, and they wouldn't have done it under Brian Gaine or Rick Smith or Charlie Casserly, because that's just not the way they've operated, and not many teams do with that much time left. It's obvious O'Brien likes David Johnson. He had a great second year. He's had injury issues. He's a backup to Kenyon Drake. It's a great deal for Kyler Murray and Cliff Kingsbury. Think about how happy Kyler Murray ought to be right now compared to Deshaun Watson.
John, appreciate the time. I know you got your time was short here, and you're on the case for some other news going on. Appreciate it. Thanks for the call.
Thank you very much, Rich.
You got it. Thanks, John.